We have some breaking news to get to. TikTok could now be banned in the U.S.
Breaking right now, a crowd gathering this morning in downtown.
This app is so much more than just an app for dumb TikTok dances.
Good evening, I'm Nurayra Nazeeha and this is Global Crisis News. Today, we bring you urgent developments on what experts are calling the TikTok ethical collapse. A recent survey has exposed 5 major ethical concerns surrounding TikTok advertising, algorithms, data collection practices, the impact on body image, and cyberbullying. This finding have sent shockwaves across the world. Advertising concerns are rising over TikTok's targeted advertising system, with 36% of users feeling neutral about its effectiveness in delivering relevant and beneficial content. Algorithm staggering 72% of users believe TikTok's algorithm encourages excessive usage and think its behavior is unethical. Data collection practices privacy is another major concern. 64% of users have considered quitting TikTok due to fears over data collection. The impact on body image. Moving on to the most alarming aspect, 76% of users, mostly female, believe TikTok promotes unrealistic beauty standards. Finally, there's the growing issues of cyberbullying. The survey found that 44% of users would ignore cyberbullying, 44% will report it, 12% admitted they might engage in bullying behavior. These questions about TikTok's ability to protect its users. In response to these findings, survey participants believe TikTok's algorithm should be adjusted to prevent harmful trends and inappropriate content from being normalized. Additionally, many users demand stronger regulation, especially in privacy protection and content moderation. With these ethical concerns at the center of public discourse, we now turn to our correspondent in the United States who will be speaking with the utilitarian to understand their perspective on this crisis. Over to you, Malak Rashid.
Thank you, Ms. Ira. Today we're discussing the impact of TikTok on the society. We are having Ms. Yi Xuan, who's a TikTok user, also a utilitarianist. She's gonna start with telling us what does utilitarianism means.
Utilitarianism is an ethical theory that focuses on the consequences of actions, stating that the morally right action is one that maximizes overall happiness or well-being.
Okay, what are your thoughts on TikTok current algorithms and the content that it promotes?
Well, I think that the algorithm is quite powerful in engaging users, but it has some serious flaws. Many users, including myself, feel that it should be adjusted to reduce harmful content like bad behaviors and explicit material. This will benefit users of all ages by improving mental health, self-esteem, and productivity.
This is an interesting point. How do you think reducing harmful content would specifically benefit young users?
It will protect children from inappropriate content and prevent them from imitating dangerous behaviors like those viral challenges we have seen. For teenagers, it could help them develop a healthier mindset and avoid deadly challenges like the Blue Whale Challenge.
Okay, Ms. Yi Xuan, you earlier mentioned mental health and productivity. Could you elaborate more about these areas?
Absolutely. By filtering out harmful content, users would likely experience less anxiety and depression, which are often filled with negative or explicit material. This will improve their overall mental health. Additionally, without constant exposure to distracting or harmful content, users could focus better in their lives and be more productive.
Okay, that makes sense. But from a broader perspective, how do you think these changes would impact the society as a whole?
By reducing harmful content, it will benefit a greater number of people by increasing happiness and safety, while companies that profit from such content might see a decline. The positive impact on users and society will outweigh these losses. This aligns with Jeremy's Bentham principle of the greatest number of benefits for the greatest number of people.
Speaking of societal impact, TikTok has both positive and negative effects. What are your overall influence?
TikTok has definitely changed how people interact with content. It empowered individuals and businesses like Amazon Kindle to promote social issues and encourage creativity. It provides a platform for diverse perspectives and initiatives, which can drive societal progress, stimulate economic opportunity, and enhance cultural exchange. When used well, it can be a force for good in the digital age.
But there are also some significant drawbacks, right?
Yes, unfortunately, despite its popularity, TikTok has some serious issues. The platform exploits vulnerable users with targeted advertising and fosters addiction and divisiveness through its algorithm, prioritizing profit over user wellness. There are also privacy issues, unrealistic beauty standards, and rampant cyberbullying, which minimize users' happiness and maximize their pain.
Thank you for sharing your insights. It's clear while TikTok has some positive impact, but there's clear areas that needs improvement.
Absolutely. I hope that with the right changes, TikTok can become a safer and more beneficial platform for everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Yi Xuan, for your time and your thoughtful responses. Now we're gonna move on to the studio for Ms. Ira.
Thank you, Malak Rashid, and we appreciate the perspective provided by utilitarian Yi Xuan. For this, we now shift to our correspondent in Germany, who will be speaking with a deontologist to explore this further. Sumaya, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ira. I'm here with Sinji, a TikTok user and a deontologist. Sinji, could you provide us with a brief definition of deontology?
Of course, deontology is an ethical theory that emphasizes following moral rules or duties, regardless of the good or bad consequences that may be produced.
So, there has been a lot of concern about the TikTok's data collection practice. What are your thoughts?
Well, TikTok collects a massive amount of user data, from location to biometric information. I think it's essential that users have a full transparency on what's being collected and how it's shared. Also, users should have the full right to opt out of their data being shared with third parties without their consent. As from a deontological perspective, this issue touches on the Kant's categorical imperative. People should be treated as ends and not merely as means. This is a matter of respecting individual autonomy.
Another concern is content moderation. Some argue that TikTok has a moral duty to remove harmful content, such as hate speech or misinformation. Do you agree?
Absolutely. While some may argue that controversial content increases engagement, theological ethics will say that the means matter more than the end. TikTok should follow universal moral law and take responsibility for protecting its users, especially younger audience, from harmful content, even if it lowers engagement.
That's a great point. Now, beyond harmful content, some critics argue that TikTok's algorithm might be reinforcing echo chambers by processing content similar to what users already engage with. Do you think TikTok should also regulate its algorithm to encourage diverse perspectives?
That's an interesting question. Algorithms are designed to keep users engaged, but if they only reinforce existing views, they can create filter bubbles. From an ethical standpoint, platforms should strive to provide users with balanced content and not just what keeps them scrolling.
So, you believe TikTok has a responsibility to ensure a fair and diverse content distribution?
Yes, while it's ultimately up to the user to seek out different perspectives, TikTok should not encourage a one-sided view of the world. Ethical responsibility means ensuring users have exposure to a variety of viewpoints. To sum up, I believe this step will make TikTok a safer and more ethically sound platform.
Thank you, Sumaya, for that insightful discussion, and a special thanks to deontologist Beh Xin Ji for sharing the deontology perspective. That concludes our coverage for today. Thank you for watching. Now let's go to the group recommendations. Firstly, social media platforms must operate ethically through effective governance. For example, in Vietnam, the government regulates harmful content by censoring it and banning influencers who spread it. This highlights the need for digital laws to encourage responsible online behavior and create a safer digital space.
Secondly, TikTok should restrict governments or third parties from accessing sensitive user data without user granting, including browsing history, profile information. Moreover, TikTok could implement status sovereignty policy which requires users' data to be stored and processed within the country's regions with strong privacy protections. This would significantly enhance data security and reduce the risk of users' data being misused or unauthorized access. Besides, there's a strict age verification system needed to be implemented to differentiate adults and children. For instance, compulsory upload of personal identification card along with face recognition to verify users' age.
Finally, we strongly recommend implementing stricter regulations on social media platforms like TikTok to protect minors from harmful content, including explicit and violent material. Additionally, TikTok should strengthen its mechanism for detecting and addressing cyberbullying and harassment, making it easier to report harmful content. To ensure promote actions by enforcing these policies, TikTok environment would be better for young users to confidently explore and express their creativity. Finally, we have arrived at our final part, which is conclusion. Long story short, user safety in social media is a must. Verifying ages, protecting data privacy, and moderating content are the key steps to keep young users safe in TikTok. These measures not only build trust, but also promote a responsible and a digital behavior. In the end, creating a safer space and a more positive online space benefits everyone. This is the end of our assignments, everyone. We're gonna end it here. Stay tuned for more news.